What's going on, everybody? Welcome. As I'm trying to get all the ASAP um, stuff off the screen real quick. This is Nate the Great coming to you live on the Minds of Creativity Network. This is the With Great Power podcast. Now, today's going to be obviously a little bit of a different show because normally I do a lot of spoiler reviews coming from Batwoman, basically anything CW, Batwoman, Superman, Lois, Legends of Tomorrow, Flash, etc. You name it. Also, I do a lot of Marvel MCU shows, a little bit of DC, but not too much. Although I will be heading into a lot of the DC CU version of the Flash. Um, but that's for a later episode. Today's actually going to be a little bit of a shorter episode because this is not a spoiler review. This is not a spoiler review, and it's not a spoiler review because there won't be another MCU or CW show up until February 22nd. Now, today's episode, I'm actually going to be discussing a little bit into John Diggle, who played a huge role in the Arrow. There had been some breaking news coming in a long time ago, so I'm a little bit behind on that. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my thoughts about what to expect from John Diggle moving forward, and a surprise prediction that I have that might catch some of you by surprise. John Diggle started off in the Arrow universe playing just as a Oliver Queen sidekick. He knows a little bit about the whole vigilante. Why Oliver Queen decided to become the Arrow and all that. But you go into season 8, and Oliver Queen is told that he has to die in order for the whole crisis of the Infinite Earth to work out. I think so as that goes on, changes start to be made. You start losing Earths. As a matter of fact, Earth 2 has died off as soon as episode 2 of Arrow? Earth 2 is no longer a thing. Now you start losing Earths left to right, mostly towards the end of Crisis of the Infinite Earths. And I'm sorry, I'm going to have to share a couple of this a few times. Just bear with me a little bit. So, John Diggle is as one of the very last few scenes of Arrow. You notice that John Diggle, asteroid starts coming into the sky. The famous Green Lantern story begins. Asteroid starts coming into the sky and shooting into the sky, and basically people are asteroid goes in through the sky, and then a little metal container pops up. John Diggle, and it shows a green crystal. Start of the Green Lantern storyline. But that's really the point of the show. So to start off, I'm gonna hit off with Batwoman just a little bit, and John goes in this last not this latest episode, but this third to latest episode, season 3, episode 9 of Batwoman, called Nature Maker. And this the very last scene catches my eye. They discussed John and Luke Fox were discussing this conversation that was previously had been built up towards in season 2. Season 2, John approaches Luke and asks John to go open up a box that has been set to a box that was opened only once in the CW franchise, and that was in the first time that we ever really know about this whole mysterious box, where the whole Green Lantern storyline pops up. I think, if I have to be honest, which I probably should be, I think John might have. I'm wondering to know what this connection is. John points out that it might not be because not John. Luke Fox points out that what made the box open up in the first place might not be science. He might have some sort of connection. He might have some sort of connection to this whole thing. Connection to the box, and that connection is what people are trying to. You might have some sort of connection that's not related to science at all. Maybe a superpower of some sort that has not been built up yet. Now, I know that power in the comics and in other shows normally comes from the ring, but I'm wondering in this one, maybe it's not. Maybe there's a little bit more to it, and we just really don't know yet. Something else actually happened that really crossed my attention. And that was one thing. That was not the only scene that John had made an appearance. John, turns out that John and Jada Jet know each other, and they know each other very well. He pointed out that John has met his wife, is back with his wife. So I'm kind of wondering. He pointed out in the show that John Diggle is back with his wife. As we learned in Arrow, John Diggle has married his wife, and then they divorced for a little bit because they didn't really see each other because both of those were serving in different parts of the nation. Both serving in the army, but both serving in different parts of the country. John gets out of the army, and Lila goes over to Argus, runs Argus for a little bit. I'm wondering, when they were separated, I'm wondering, what if Ryan Wilder is John Diggle's daughter? Timeline matches, because there was a period of time that John Diggle was divorced with his wife, Lila. And we knew that later in the season, Jada Jet was having an affair. But we don't know who. I think that John Diggle might be the husband, might be the guy the affair was taking place. There was a photo of who of Marcus's father is supposed to be. But again, it was not mentioned. Again, there's a lot of questions about this that we still quite don't know yet. I'm wanting to know, is John Diggle going to appear in the next 3 episodes of Batwoman? We know that John is appearing in an episode coming up of Superman and Lois. We also know that he is going to be starting off his own show, where he's training a next generation of superheroes. Right now, he's been mostly doing a producing role for Superman and Lois, but he has appeared from time to time. One episode for The Flash. Well, ever since Oliver's death. One episode for The Flash. One episode for Superman and Lois. One episode for Legends, and then 2 for Batwoman. Naomi, there hasn't been any crossovers yet. That won't be until the future. But as for right now, I'm wondering how they're going to fit in the rest of the content that they have. This is the shortest season for Superman by any CW season. And that's for Superman and Lois out of that by far. There's been some where it's 10 total. There's been some that is up to 13. I think Arrow season 1 was 13 episodes total. But none had 7. What are they going to do for... I do know that with Superman and Lois in the future, that there is a crossover to be planned with Legends of Tomorrow and Flash. And also with Crisis of the Infinite Earths, there is a series where I don't want to say his name. Not Flash, but I'm blanking on his name. A different kind of speedster that's in the Justice League series. Jeff, if you're out there, you might be able to remember, because I quite don't. But the Justice League is going. The Flash version of the Justice League is going to be in the next crossover for the CW. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Again, I told you it was a shorter episode than normal. And if you... So, this has been Nate the Great. And then I'll be going back live next Thursday at 9 p.m. Central. In the meantime, stay tuned and enjoy the rest of your week.
All sports